to read the, like, backlog, but never mind. Blah 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 blah. This actually gives me a chance to reread, I guess. Very few knew about it, so when they said it's been a while, it wasn't a prank. Wait a minute, 7 years! Was it 7 years ago that they had one miracle? I can only think it would be Blackwell. But in that case, like, I don't fucking know. Either that or I don't actually have enough information. I'm gonna go with Blackwell. Well, he's, you know, evil. It probably isn't. Simon Blackwell. The murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. It fucking was him. God damn it. I only know it is because it wouldn't be... his name wouldn't be highlighted. Right, yeah, I don't want fast forward activated. It's just so I don't accidentally skip. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. Oh. Blackwell was innocent. How do you keep seeing straight through me? Blackwell was innocent. Oh. Switching the launch pads. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. Hey, Original OG. How's it going? And thanks. I've been part of the D-Live community for a while. I've been on here for... a year? No, it's not been a year. It was the start of this year, I think. So like, 10 months, 11 months. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads, we'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. 7 years ago. You mean the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Yeah, I think it's probably been about 11 or 12 months. Pretty sure it was January of this year. The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme. So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. How long I've been here? 12 months. My content is literally this. I just do playthroughs of games I fancy playing. And how I got to D-Live? I can't remember. I think I was streaming Final Fantasy 15 and someone mentioned D-Live and I looked into it. I was like, yeah, this place looks pretty cool. And the rest is history. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Wow, I had no idea such awful events were behind that exciting story of space heroism. All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personnel effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Interesting that he mentions a leaf. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? I mean, I would say it's not necessary. If you want to, go ahead, but I don't mind if I never grow. It's fine. I do this for fun. At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? Carries out dangerous missions? And always gets the girl? Someone's watching way too many late-night movies. Oh, nice. Oh, cheers. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all. Quite like this music. Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Samurai more than anything. Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then, 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Oh, just like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moonrock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honour. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads. And staged the moving rescue scene. Ah. Holy crap, this is an elaborate case. First, I snuck into the centre the night before and switched the launch pads. That way the astronauts would go from Boarding Lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repairs sign at the door to Launch Pad 1 in Boarding Lounge 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it. He'd already been through enough, and he's not good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well, until... Clay's murder, huh? Oh dear. After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out, but after all that effort, Terran is dead and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. My home, the centre of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for. Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in that blast? The Hope capsule? I thought Terran had... Oh yeah, Clay had it on him. Didn't he? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with the asteroid samples inside. Unless the killer took it. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway. But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. You misunderstand. The launchpad explosion wasn't the one that the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. It was the courtroom bombing. Oh. The courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence, and was blown to smithereens. Oh, shoot. That's not good. Crap. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes. A wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch. Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion. And planted the bomb then. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spy is behind this incident, and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. Then this spy must be the Phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center too. I still can't believe I didn't get that the first try. God, how dumb am I? So if we can find this Phantom... That's right, we can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell's too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in. Okay, why is he laughing? It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl. I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed. Oh, what a chipper guy that guy. What a chipper guy he is. Do you think he's going to be alright, Daddy? Yeah, hopefully. Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission too. If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. Okay. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. I guess that's our next destination. No, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. Psyche achieves spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. Indeed. Oh my god, come on. So the Hat 1 exhibit. Cosmos Space Center. I don't know where the Hat 1 exhibit is. Let's see, where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? I'm going to say it's probably over here. There's... oh, there. That's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh wow, look at that photo of the team. There's Clay, and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. But... I've never seen the woman on the right before. Is that the person that died? I don't know if that's all the staff members though, there might be more. Because he did say he lost a staff member. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article too. Hat 1 launch imminent. Oh god, why is that mask there? That's like... God, is that the mask that's in Tokyo Dark? It looks very familiar. Hat 1 launch imminent, and there's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a close look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing. The one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. Hat 1 exhibit added to the court record. Newspaper clipping, a photo of the people involved with the launch, and the jacket one of them wore. Hello? Robot? Oh, Miss Woods. What brings you here? I heard Athena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here, at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm going to do my very best to defend her. Athena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Coming back? Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? Oh, no worries. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good day. What, you didn't know? She used to live here. When she was a little girl. Oh. She did? No, I didn't know. Miss Woods, could you tell me more? In detail? Okay. Athena in the Space Center. This was her home. Athena's mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology, or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist working at a space research facility? I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. Ah. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Sad memory? Come on! There we go. A sad memory. Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Athena's mom, in the robotics lab. She was... killed. Yep. She was murdered. What? After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school. Not surprising. Poor Athena. Or poor Athena. And all this time, she never let on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times, hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. That's when she went to the law school. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. So the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Corp's case. That's right. And I was so surprised. So that means she was 11 when it happened, because I'm pretty sure Athena's 18. I think she's 18. She's either 18 or she's 17. She was like a completely different person, so cheerful and happy. Young Athena. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because She was very sensitive to other people's emotions. Oh, okay. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. Must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. Whoa. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her, as part of her research. Huh. I wonder what kind of research it was. Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center, a lot. It brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Daddy, show her that picture. Atta girl, good idea. Okay, so now we present, when the game lets me click, the photo. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Oh look! There's... okay, it's her mother. There's Athena's mother, or mum. The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metis Sykes. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat-1 launch? What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime Prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is? Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. Hell yeah. So we need to investigate the robotics lab, and also talk to Athena. We got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all in before the day is through. Oh, we can, because there's only one investigation for this case. The detention center first. Then, we have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. Oh, we go there automatically. I think we're nearly done with the investigation. I'm guessing. I don't really know. Interesting. Wait, so has her mother been added to the profiles? Yes! Athena's mother and victim of the murder 7 years ago. She was a talented psychologist like her daughter. Dear me. Oh. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Why are you here? Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Oh, here on business? To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tonate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about the case. About that case. Click. And what he was saying was so incredible, I just had to come right over to hear more. Incredible? What was he saying? Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? I give you my special permission. Here comes the bomber now. No. You! What nerve you have to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in hospital. Violence equals no question okay. No violence, too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tonate. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. Eh? What are you talking about? Who else could have been there? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was. But that's who blew up the courtroom. You expect us to buy that? Easy there, Trucy. I don't see any Cyclops, so I guess he must not be lying. pardon me, I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth, I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course. So we're doing a follow-up. We're even analysing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. It was stuffed inside a toy, wasn't it? Whoa, 6B, 11A, 11D, 7-K. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow. They've laid it all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. Phony Fanty bomb, added to the court record. Was found in the boarding lounge, or in boarding lounge 1 and detonated in courtroom number 4. Fragments are being analysed. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I have to be off now too. I was just about to question Miss Cykes. You're going to see Athena now? That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go. Great. What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy. Alright, sounds like a plan. Okay. Move. Robotics lab. This is new. Wait, isn't this gonna be Blackwell's domain? Cosmos Space Center. Robotics lab. So this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly one floor above the boarding lounge. And where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots... Daddy, look! Over there! And... there she... oh. What? Okay, so here's Apollo. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule. Is that right? Oh, there's Aura. Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell. I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well, come to spoil our fun, just when I was enjoying our alone time. Jersey, and Mr. Wright. If it's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own. And I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab. Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. Okay. Why is she so cold towards us? About what happened? I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out, and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed, and they all lived happily ever after. Daddy, say something to her. And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? Guess she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you, or should I say, former subordinate. Jesus. I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? Of course he does. Whew! All this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, Hunker Junk. Clonker. Ah, it's this one. Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Terran? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this Hunker Junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Oh, because of the jacket. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. Mr. Terran, how are you? How are your injuries? Okay, creepy. I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts. Yeah, right. And I'm a spirit medium. Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena, no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago. She's probably pissed because her brother's innocent. And she knew he was innocent, but he was still convicted. Could you tell me more? Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too? Well, if you're the one who's asking Apollo. Come on, hunk of junk. You tell the story. But Miss Aura, that's private information. If you won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Oh yeah. Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me! I'm ready to utilize my blast processing abilities to impart all available information. Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now. The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab were designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much younger then. Yikes, better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Glonko. And then our hearts were created by that great genius, Dr. Sykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. Okay. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. Oh. Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that are left of Metis here on Earth. Oops, did not want to click that. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? Yeah. We built the ultimate creations together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue?